and welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer Diamond and I'm a plant-based certified nutrition coach living a whole food, plant exclusive, sos-free, gluten-free lifestyle for health and well-being. And it literally gave me my life back, got me out of bed, and here we are together. And I want to share with you today something special that's a new thing for me, and it's the Nama M1. Yeah. So I recently had a birthday, and every time I have a birthday, I'm so privileged to share my age and share the fact that it's my birthday and I'm celebrating, because that means I'm still here enjoying life, and I can't be more grateful. And this year, I got a super special surprise from my son and my husband, and they bought me, I can't even believe it still, this Nama M1 machine, and it's a plant-based, it's a nut milk maker, although you can use other things besides nuts. And I have opened it, but I haven't made anything with it yet. I thought we could do that together. So I just thought really quickly I would just kind of show you the box. I'm at this point not affiliated with them, would love to be, but I'm just doing this because I think that it's a great product and thought maybe you would be interested in hearing about it. So it comes in this box. This box was in a bigger box, so we took this box out of the bigger box, and I love the packaging. Look how it's got all these beautiful drawings, and it actually goes all over. It's on the lid here, you could see, and it's on the back. It's just really fun. And so then when you open it, inside it's got all these other boxes. Now this one was in this space, but I just didn't take the time to put it all back because I just wanted to make it quick to pull out. But every box has written what's in it, and it's got a drawing. So this is the accessory box, and this one is the thin little tiny box, and it has some drawings, and it says starter, or start here. It says start here, and that's where all the paperwork was. Oh my gosh, right? And then there is the, let's see, what's next? There's this one, right? This is the chamber. And I think I took the chamber out. So this is just the chamber box. Yeah, so I'm going to set that aside. We also had the pitcher, right? Isn't this cute, the packaging? And then the last one that was in here was the motor base. And I just think that, I don't know, I never got excited about packaging before, which is funny because that's what my husband has had part of his career in, is packaging. But this is really fun packaging. So let me move this big box out of the way. No, I got to show you in the lid. Look what it says. Here's to fresh, delicious, plant-based milk. So they're always talking to you, and it's exciting. So here's just some packaging that I'll take out. Whoops. And just to show you what's in the accessories, because that one I didn't open yet, is this. And I'm not even sure what this is. I think this is probably some kind of storage thing. And the cord, which I already pulled out, and this little brush to clean. And so that's what's in the accessories. So let's move that out of the way as well. And what was really cool about this, here's the paperwork. Well, what I'll just say about the paperwork is that there is a quick start guide, the regular big, the big guide, and then this cool recipe book. Yeah, and they've got so many beautiful recipes in here. And even in the top of one of the pictures, or the main component, it had this little circle thing here, and it's just a welcome little thing. And on the back side, it's got like basic milk recipes. So there's a cashew milk, almond milk, pistachio milk, hazelnut milk, and coconut milk, and even oat milk. And that's cute, right? You can just put it somewhere and it's just a quick basic milk one. So I thought that was fun. But the recipe book has a list of things, and I'm just going to go over briefly that it's got recipes for nuts, for grains and seeds, for making creamers, and it's just amazing. There's even some stuff about what to do with the pulp and how to make pulp crackers. So each one of the pieces comes in that box, right? You pull it out of the box and now it's in a bag. And you can see I took some of them out, but these are some of the bags. Aren't they cute? So they're great for storing them when you're not using them. And I left this one in here, and this is the base. And oh my goodness. So I have a Nama J2, it's the juicer, and I have a white one. They come white and black, but my family decided to get me the matching one, and I'm so happy about it. I just love it. So anyways, let's move these away aside and start talking about this, and then let's make some milk together. Okay, so I set aside the bags and then I got the other pieces, right? So these were already taken out of the box. They were already taken out of the cute little storage bags, and this is what we have. Isn't this nice? So this is the pitcher. So once you make the milk, they give you a pitcher to store it in with this nice, beautiful sealed lid, and it's got some markings on it. So this is the cups, 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups. And then there's a little line in between for like the 2.5 mark and the 3.5 mark. And then on the other side, it's in mLs, milliliters. So 250, 500, 750, and 1,000. So I thought that's great. And all of these things I've already washed. So once you get them out, if you decide to do something, I think you should always wash new products and make sure that everything is nice and clean. So this is the main component, right? And it is really cool. And so this comes with the lid, right? And then look at this. This strainer, this piece here is awesome. And if you were able to pull it, it just feels like really solid. And so this is the filter where all of the nuts and seed pulp, stays in, and then the liquid, the milk, pours through these little teeny tiny things. And then this is the blade. So let me show you, get out of the way. This is the blade, and so it fits in here. And then this fits in here. Just like that. And then here's the base. We should probably put our lid on. I think there's a certain way to put the lid on. Yes, there is. And so I'm going to want to do that. And it reminds me of my food processor, because you set it down, or even like the Instant Pot, right? And then you slide it over. There's a little arrow, and then what's going to happen is it's going to connect here. See, so we lay it down, and you hear a little click, and it's ready to go. And also in the front, there's this little arrow, and it matches with this arrow. You would start it on this arrow. Underneath the arrows are either a picture of an unlocked lock or a locked lock. So, well, let's just for fun do it one more time. So you put the arrow with the unlocked lock, and then it goes to the locked lock. So this is ready to go if we had our stuff in here. And then this is the base. This is the motor base. And it has, this is the front of it. And so I'm just gonna show you. There is a start and cancel button, and you can't see it right now, but right here, that is gonna light up, and it's gonna give us our choices. And so that's really great. And then on the back side, you can see that it has the plug and the on and off switch. Now, what's so great about having the plug disconnect, I think, is that you don't have to worry about it getting kinked, or you don't have to worry about, it being hard to store. So you can just take this off. You can set it in the bag so you won't lose it, and I think that's great. And I even have still the little cover because it's that new for me. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the plug, and just got to match it up. And there we go. And this knob does turn. And so we're just gonna set this aside. And so there's so many different ways, different recipes. I thought that we would do something a little bit different. And I thought we would do hemp seed milk. Have you tried that one? You can do a million different ones, but in here it just talks about the benefits of hemp seeds, and they have a description for every single type of nut, seed, or even grains you can do. You can do grain milk. So for hemps, I just want to read that they say the hemp seed benefits containing almost as much protein as soybeans. These seeds have about 9.5 grams of protein in 3 tablespoons. They are also a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, which we knew. And so that's just really cool. Now, you could do hemp seeds, just the hemp and the water, and you're good to go. Or you can flavor it up. You can use cinnamon, you can use vanilla bean powder. Some people like vanilla extracts. You can use dates, you can use maple syrup, or you could just do it plain, right? And in their recipe that they have in the back here, because I was gonna look at their recipe, they call it vanilla oat and hemp milk. So they add rolled oats. So I have the rolled oats here. I just wasn't sure if we should do just the hemp hearts just to see what it tastes like and look like, or if we should do the full recipe. But their recipe has rolled oats, hemp seeds. They call for sea salt. You can skip that. Vanilla extracts and water. So I don't use vanilla extract usually. I do have some in my house on occasion. Around the holidays, sometimes we use it for something else. But normally, I really like the vanilla bean powder. And so I have that here. So anyways, I went ahead and measured out some hemp hearts. And the only thing I still need to grab is the water. So let me grab that. And I'm going to also just take this off. And then we will be ready to pour everything in here and go from there. So let me grab that. Okay, so it says 3 to 4 cups of water. I'm gonna use, I brought it both in case, but I was planning on using 3 cups, which is in this one, and here's an extra cup in case we decide to do that. Now, the first thing that this wonderful machine talks about is the fact that it's got a lot of safety features. One thing is that when you put the this piece in here, you have to line it up, and you must have this little spout closed. If the spout is open at all, it will not work. So you have to have it closed. There's little sounds. I don't know if you can hear. So that's kind of fun, and it kind of makes you stop for a minute. And anyways, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to unplug this, plug the cord from this little, I should have done this ahead of time, but here we go. Just taking off this little zip tie thing and opening it to allow me to plug it into the wall. All right. And then the first thing that the recipe says is check that the spout cap is closed. We just did that. And then add all the ingredients into the filter basket. Secure the lid and set the blending time for 45 seconds and press start. So let's do that. I just want to see now that I plugged it in, it's not showing anything yet. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour the water in. Pour the water in. I hope I'm doing this right. And then I've got the hemp seeds, the hemp heart seeds. Oh, this is my first time doing this with you, so I don't know if it just seems like it climbs. Maybe I should have put the seeds in first, but I didn't. I put the water in first because why I'm saying that is because there's a little bit of water now on the top, and then when I poured the seeds in, they were wet, so they're kind of sticking. So maybe next time I would do the seeds first, and then I would add the water. Now, If you want to go ahead and do the recipe that they're calling for, we can also add the oats, but I feel like we can add the oats if we want to, or do a different one again. I don't know. I kind of so interested in just the hemp heart, the hemp hearts. And maybe what I'll do is add a little bit of vanilla bean. Oh gosh, part of me just wants to see plain hemp hearts. What that is. What should we do? I guess, you know what, maybe we'll just do the recipe that they have this time. So they're saying add the oats and add some vanilla extract. Okay, fine. We'll do it their way. We'll add the oats. And then next time I'll just maybe do the hemps. Plain, without any flavoring either. I'm gonna add this little bit of vanilla bean powder, and I am going to now put the lid on. Remember, we have to turn it, line it up, and lock it into place. Now, so just so you know, the back of the lid where I showed you that it kind of sticks out, they're calling that the lid safety interlock. And we lined it up and then we turned it and it's in place. We talked about the spout. This is the spout, open and closed. It actually has a sensor, and that's why we have to have it closed before we start. And then there's the standby mode. And so it's indicated when the start and the cancel button is flashing, and then after 5 minutes of inactivity of it, let's say you were doing something, it will automatically shut off, which is really kind of nice. To re-engage it, then you just press the button again. If the lid and the spout are both opened, then the re-engagement has to happen by closing the lid and the spout. So there's a lot of great safety features on here, and I really do like it. So I'm going to turn the on button on. And it's white, so I don't know if you can see. Look, it says, well, if you can't see it, it says hello, hello. And then it says 1 minute, and there's a minus and a plus sign. So I'm gonna go to lower, because it said 45 seconds on the recipe, and I'm just gonna double check that I read that correctly. Yes, 45 seconds, and then we're just gonna push this start. I don't know if this is a dance party, so let's find out. With me because that was fun. So I'm out of breath. Woo! That means my heart's going and things are pumping and I'm feeling good. What I think I was surprised about is this is so quiet compared to my other appliances, right? We do the Vitamix. I got my ear things on and ear protection wear, and even with the Breville that I have, the food processor, that's loud. This makes a noise, but it wasn't loud. So I think all we do is lift the cap and it's ready to go. Now, some people like to go ahead and strain the milk afterwards. We can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in here and take a look at it, and we can always strain it as well. Now, I only put the 3 cups of water in. We could also add the other cup. The reason why I didn't add the other cup is because I wanted to kind of see if we could get like a thicker kind of milk. So here we go, ready? Wow. I don't know about you, but the simple things. I forgot about that. So what's it doing? I'll tell you. Once you drain it, then it spins it again to get every drop out for you. And you can leave the cap open during this time. And because I've never made it before, I read the instructions and that's what it had told me. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that to stop it. Isn't that cool? So there's like no waste. That was kind of a surprise for me as well. And I see it's still dripping in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and let more drip out. Wow, I guess you could do that a few times. Isn't that cool, you guys? So you really don't waste anything, and that's really important for me anyways. So I want to tell you what it says on the front in case you can't read it. It says spout is open. Spout is open, but it's not open. Oh, I'm sorry. It says open spout, not spout is open. It says open spout. So it's giving me instruction to go ahead and open the spout. And now it's telling me open the spout. First 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And now it turned off. What does it say? Enjoy. So, you know what? That was learning for me, and that I hope was fun and learning for you. I'm going to go ahead and turn the power off. I'm going to unplug it. We are going to look at this in a few different ways, right? The first way is, I always do this with the other Namas, so I feel like I need to, but look at that. There's hardly anything that comes out of it. That's because of the spinning thing. Isn't that cool? Wow, I love this. So I'm closing that up. And we are going to check the pulp and everything, but I just want to show you what this looks like. And this made, it's kind of foamy, so it made 3 cups of water. That's how much we use, but there's foam up to another cup. And so anyways, let me get a little glass and try it with you. And we can also, you know, like I said, we can strain it, but let's just go ahead and pour this. Oh my goodness. I mean, don't you just love plants? Ooh, it kind of smells oaty because we put the rolled oats in. Here we go. Oh, wow. That's really good. I don't really taste a heavy vanilla flavor to it. And it's not sweet, obviously, because we didn't add any sweetener, but I personally like it that way. If you are someone that likes a sweeter milk, then I would definitely recommend adding a sweetener like a date or maple syrup or something like that. I think if I was going to put a date in, I would pit the date and I would probably chop it up and then stick it in there. Now, what does this say about that? I didn't check. This doesn't say anything about adding dates in this particular recipe, but you can also even add cinnamon or even fruit, right? You can do bananas or any kind of fresh fruit. And I just flicked over here to recipe for banana milk, and it says if you're going to use the banana, peel it and then chop it. So I would say do that with the dates if you want to do that. Let's strain this just to see the difference. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change it up. Okay. And then I'm going to do it this way. And you know what? Nothing is coming up to strain. So you don't even need to strain it. Wow, that's incredible. There's nothing to strain. It did such a fabulous job. You don't even need to strain it. So skip that. Now, I did not use cold water. So this is warm. So what you could do is you could make sure that you put it in the refrigerator and then you'll have it cold whenever you're ready. So let me just wipe this. I don't know, just because it's new, you don't have to do this, but look at me, I'm so silly. I just want to kind of wipe that out. Put the lid on. Oh my gosh. And here we go. I've got milk for a few days. You could double the recipe if you want, although the measurements only go to here. So maybe that's not a good idea. Just trying to think. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I guess I would just do this, and then when it runs out, make more, so that it's always fresh. And I'm just gonna set that aside. This is our superstar. This is great. But I do want to take a minute, and I want to look at this with you together, because I haven't done that. Let's check out what the pulp looks like. Just undo this. Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, there's nothing, not a drop in here. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see that? Totally clean. Wow. Oh, this is amazing. I am super excited about this. Okay, but this is where the pulp is. And I don't see anything. It's kind of, let's see, can you see in there? It looks like it's just coated on the sides because it spun so well. The blade is in the middle, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it out. I don't know what's gonna happen, so let's just maybe get a bowl or something, and let's see what happens here. Isn't this fun to discover? So what I'm hoping to do is continue to make more milks and share with you what I discover and what I do. Look at this. Oh yeah, that's exactly what happens. Look at that. Did you see that? Look. That is awesome. That is awesome. It's literally, there's nothing in the container. It's all right here. And it was just like a scraper. Look at that. Oh my gosh, how beautiful. This is amazing. So this is the pulp, and I can do lots of things with the pulp. It's a little sticky. Look at that, it's sticking to my hands, and probably not using my fingers would be better, because there is a blade here, so you want to make sure to maybe use a spatula, which I should get, and stop being silly. I'll use this spatula because it's got the hook here. And then you can do all kinds of things with the pulp, and we will together, hopefully soon, do some things with the pulp. What could you do? Well, you can make crackers, and I know that for sure. You can make breads. You can even do like some type of a pizza crust. It's all in the way that you flavor it. And when I say that, I mean with seasonings, spices, and all kinds of deliciousness. I have never had a milk pulp or a pulp of any kind be this fine. I wonder if it's just because of the seeds and the oats that we used, or if it's like that with everything, and we will be discovering that as we go. Wow, look at that. And then you can just have your pulp. Have your pulp and eat it too, right? Why not? We just need a recipe, and my goodness, this is good. So even if I wanted to taste the pulp, let's try it. I mean, the consistency is like peanut butter. There's nothing in my mouth that's fibrous or chunky or anything. And again, I don't know if that's the case with everything, or if it's just because of what we used, you know, the hemp seeds and the oats. So I'm going to be trying that, but I definitely want you to take a look at this. Isn't that cool? So I am going to now take this pulp, and I will probably, I'll look in the book to see what it says, but what I'll do is I'll probably put it on my dehydrator mat and put it in my dehydrator and dry it out. And then I can store it in the freezer if I want, or use it right away and go ahead and make something delicious. So I'm gonna grab that recipe book and just take a peek with you before we sign off. Let's just go to the back here where it has the different things here for pulp. It doesn't really say anything, just like recipes. So use a cup of nut milk pulp, and you can add it to different things. They have a matcha pulp bliss balls, and they've got, what else do they have for the pulp here? Oh, wow, a peanut butter chip cookie. used with the pulp. I like doing the other things that I talked about, which are, you know, the breads and the crackers and stuff like that. Let's see if they have any information. Oh, they have a granola. You can make granola with the pulp. Well, that's kind of cool. Here we go. Seed and pulp crackers. They have it right here. And this one, they bake it in the oven. So you can do it that way, but if you wanted them raw, you could also do it in the dehydrator, and I enjoy eating a lot of raw. There's even, they're talking about protein bites. They're no bake, so this is a raw one with cashew or almond pulp. And that's just a few samples of different recipes that they provide you. And so how fun is that? So anyways, maybe I will go ahead and get the mat out and show you what it's going to look like when I put it in the dehydrator. So I have the Excalibur 9-drawer. I'll go ahead and link it below in case you want to see what I have. I have these mats. These are these sheets that fit on top. This is how it actually comes. I'm going to go ahead and leave the mat on here, and I'm going to go ahead and place this onto the sheet and stick it in the dehydrator at 115 degrees for like, I don't know, how many hours should I do it for? Probably 8 hours. This is just going to be interesting to see what actually happens here, because part of me feels like you don't need to dry it. You can just go ahead and use it the way it is. I wonder if I should take half a cup out. What, half a cup? Let's see, how much pulp did I make here? Half a cup. I'm measuring how much came out of there. There is actually just about half a cup. So you could either, I'm telling you like I know, you can either just save it like this and add it to a recipe, but if you're not going to, then I would say dry it in the dehydrator, and then you can always rehydrate it. So anyways, I just wanted to show you a little bit. But most importantly, we've got some fresh milk, fresh plant milk. It won't hurt you. It won't harm you. All it's going to do is help heal you and give you energy and make you feel strong and wonderful. You can use this in anything that you would use any type of milk in. So for cereals, for, you know, any kind of beverages, just plain, add it to smoothies, anything that you would use milk for, you can use this milk for. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the refrigerator and enjoy it. And I hope that you enjoyed this lesson of discovery with me and my new Nama M1. I hope to be doing more of these, and as I get comfortable with more things and learn more about it, I will share it with you. And thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to eat your greens and give plants a chance, everyone. Take care. And if you want to chat with me, you can please feel free to reach out to my website at thejenniferdiamond.com. But until next time, be well. And like I said, eat your greens. Take care. Bye, everyone. Yumma. Oh, I should mention one other thing. If it separates a little bit, just mix it up. Yeah. Cheers. When it comes to cleaning, you're going to want to, over your sink, use this brush to clean this screen. You'll put a little bit of soap on here, get everything wet, and then you can just scrub, scrub, scrub. And it should make so that all the holes are not filled with anything. And so that's really important. Another thing that I had forgotten to mention that I wanted to mention to you is making soy milk, right? So one thing that I think I've understood, but I haven't tried it yet, is that when you make soy milk fresh, you're going to want to have your soybeans cooked. If you're cooking them, if you're doing it raw, maybe sprouted. But I'm going to talk about the cooked part because that has to do with heat. And so if you cook your soybeans, you're going to want to let them cool 100%. You do not want them warm. You do not want any heat at all. So maybe I would suggest making them the night before, or a day or so ahead of time and let them cool to room temperature, maybe even put them in the refrigerator. And then you can add them cold with your other ingredients into the Nama M1, and you can create your soy milk. The containers, these things are not meant for heat, and so it is just an extra step in comparison to other nut milk makers that I've heard about, where you can actually put the hot bean in it, because maybe the container is stainless steel or it's just meant for that. But this one, so you just take it, you let it cool, that's the extra step, and then you can proceed. So I hope this has been helpful, everybody, and I will check in with you and we will do something different soon, like Pulp, crackers or whatever. Okay. I keep learning more and more things, so I just wanted to tell you, as far as the Pulp goes, that's what the accessory bag is for. Let me take it out, and I have not washed this one, but I'm going to. This is what they say you should store your Pulp in. So let me give this a quick wash, and you can store the Pulp in the refrigerator or in the freezer in this Pulp bag. And I got a half a cup of Pulp out of the recipe that we just made. And I noticed most of the recipes in the book call for a cup of nut pulp. So what I might do is save this, and then when I make the next one and I have a full cup, I'm gonna come on here and we are gonna make some kind of Pulp recipe together. So let me give this a quick wash. Okay, so there's a few things that I need to talk to you about that we didn't yet, and that is this. So I washed this already. I have this Pulp here. I showed it to you on that, but we're not going to use that. And so what we could have done is gone directly from the blade, which I showed you, and just go right into here. This, according to them, will store in the refrigerator for up to 6 days, and otherwise you can freeze it. So, and it doesn't say how long you can do it in the freezer, so I would say, hey, a long time. I know I freeze stuff sometimes over a year, but I hope to make something great with this really, really soon. So then I go ahead and I can just seal this. This is a silicone pouch. I want to get a little bit of the air out of there at the end here. And there you go. Now I can put this in the refrigerator. Another thing that we could do after you drain everything is you can go ahead and put this all back, the blade and everything, because you can clean it. Let me get the lid here. I was just gonna wash it, which I still can, and I probably will, but it talks about a feature to clean it. So let's do that together. I'm plugging it back in. It's going to have the light go on here. It says, hello, I love that it greets you. Hello. And it defaults to 1 minute. You saw that by turning it earlier, we were able to adjust the time and going up or down. It says you can add a few drops of dish soap and 5 cups of warm water, close the lid and blend for 30 seconds. Let's do that. I'm going to add some warm water. There actually is a max line on here, so you want to fill it up to the max line, which I think is 4, whoops, and then we're going to add a little drop of dish soap. 1 drop is plenty. Putting it on. We're going to change the time to the negative to the minus for 30 seconds. Push the start and let it clean. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now that that's done, then I will turn it off. I will take everything apart. And now you want to rinse it off. You can use your scrubber like I talked about earlier and have it all clean and ready to go. The last thing I want to talk about is that they, last couple things that it says, once you take this apart and rinse it with warm water in the sink, then you can just dry it and store it. And it says do not run, of course. You never put this in the water. We're just talking about these things here. And you want to wash everything right away, just like with anything else. Otherwise, you're going to have buildup and gunk. And so there's a troubleshooting page, but what I really wanted to talk about was their warranty. And I just want to mention one last thing, is that the NAMA provides a warranty for 15 years for all parts from the date of purchase by the original owner. The coverage is only valid with proof of purchase. Okay? That's pretty amazing, 15 years. So they stand behind their products. And anyways, like I said already, we will see you next time. Don't forget to eat your greens and give plants a chance. Bye, everyone.